I'd rather us move first, figure it out first, days, weeks, months ahead of our competitors, and then be having to force to do that later than not. So what does that mean? Like, how do we become unstuck? It means that we have to start talking about things we're not used to talking about in a professional context, which sometimes is our thoughts and feelings, our thoughts about something before we know an answer, our hunches when something is ambiguous. What are we leaning towards if something's not black and white or we don't have all the data yet? There is a comfort with being uncomfortable and a comfort with ambiguity that this AI transformation is forcing all of us to go through. And so for me, I'm very compartmentalized. I don't talk about feelings a lot. I'm a marketer. I'm used to talking about data. I'm used to testing and proving something before I say it's going to work and not going out on a limb and saying this is what it's going to happen if I'm not sure. But none of us are in a position where we have the luxury of certainty anymore. So we have to get good at doing that in cycles. So as I did that with everyone, who I report to, my leadership, the team that reports to me, and now with customers, it's the same cycle. Sometimes the very valid questions of, well, what if, or what might happen, those are valid. We should talk about that and collaborate, and that's part of the context. But once we do that and we have that conversation, if the feeling in the room hasn't moved, if the conversation hasn't moved, that's an indicator for me, then we're dealing with something else, which might be emotion. And those emotions might be anxiety, fear, and those are valid emotions, but not valid in a business context if they allow us to remain stuck and they lead to inaction. So that's really been the work. And that type of work, that type of collaboration, those type of conversations that at least me and my team were not used to having before, we have on a regular basis now with our partners, now with our customers. And I think that is the work of this journey that's very different than how we were doing business before, at least within my team.